I'll start by, we'll have a prayer and we'll get going. Father God, this is a difficult time that we're in, and it's unfamiliar to us. We know that you're in the middle of it. We know that you're in charge like you always were and always will be. Lord, we ask you for wisdom to operate during this period of time, that you would give us strength and cause us just to trust you more. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We'll suspend the pledges this morning, and we'll move straight into our consent agenda.
Andy, do you see me? This is David Bruns.
I don't see you video-wise, but I see you on the call.
Let's go ahead and
we've
call.
Been trying to go over the consent agenda because we just got it, and so that's why we're late getting in. But join audio. Okay, here I go.
We'll go ahead and call roll. Commissioner Edwards.
I'm here.
Commissioner Morales.
I'm here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
Commissioner Bruns.
I guess I'm here. I don't see me coming up.
I can hear you, David. That's all.
Yeah, because I'm sitting in with Kenneth also.
Okay. All right, we have several pullouts on page 1. Goliad Auto Parts, $297.46. Need a motion to approve, please.
So move.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And one abstention.
On page 2, I believe it is, one for Commissioner Bruns, $557.57. Need a motion to approve that, please.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I abstain. Bruns.
We have a pullout for Commissioner Edwards, $627.90. Motion to approve, please.
Move.
What
So much.
is this? Is this
Second.
my
Do what?
second?
Okay, I need a second on Commissioner Kenneth Edwards' pullout, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
One abstention of Kenneth.
The remainder of the consent agenda.
Have
So
a question. What line is 12-050-399? The sheriff got 2 vehicles and we can't find that line.
That's the payables code where items go before they're paid.
Okay.
It's not really a budget item. It's not a budget line item. It's what the system uses to pay bills.
Okay. He had 45,000 in his vehicle line. Where did the other?
He bought, the sheriff's office bought 2 vehicles.
Yes. $80,000.
The rest of it came out of their, they paid the 45 out of the budget and the rest came out of their abandoned vehicle fund.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If that's all the discussion on the consent agenda, I need a motion to approve it, please.
So move.
Second.
I got a question, Judge.
Okay.
Do we have any payroll in this consent agenda? Because I don't see any.
No.
Lee? Or, excuse me, Christina's not on, is she?
Well, is the treasurer on it?
Yeah. There's no payroll. No.
There's no payroll on this consent agenda. Any more questions about that?
We turned in payroll last week. It was due last Monday.
Yeah, we processed payroll 2 weeks ago. Last Monday.
Last Monday.
Last Monday.
I'm looking, guys. That's the reason I'm silent here. I'm trying to figure it out. I did not receive an email from Christina. And I cannot give you an explanation as to why.
Weren't we off 1 week because we had commissioners court in between? I don't think the next payroll is going to, I think she's processing payroll today.
You know what? We did. We had 2 meetings in a row there.
Yeah,
that's
so
why.
I think, yeah.
Questions, comments, gentlemen?
No,
No. I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure, because I haven't seen it. I did not see anything on that I received from payroll, and I just thought we would have payroll on there this week. I may have been mistaken.
Okay.
I think it was out of the prior meeting.
So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
So move.
Second?
I'll second it. This is David.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Andy, if you'll unmute the phones now, we'll open it up for public communication. Public has comment.
Should've been open too.
Right. If they want to talk.
Please identify yourself before you speak.
Mary Ellen Flores, County Clerk.
Okay, if there's no communication, we'll move on. First thing on the agenda is the approval of project administration service between Langford Community Management Services and Goliad County for this new grant that we have been offered. You all have copies of it. Any questions? It has went to the county attorney.
How much was the grant again, Judge? This is Morales.
It's around $700,000 along, so I don't have the number. I think it was a matching grant, or the same amount as the other one, which was $723.
Okay.
And what is this grant for?
This is a follow-up from GLO. It's still Harvey related. This is an additional grant for low income. There's some floodplain buyout in it. Do you not have a copy of it?
Yeah, we did. It was I don't remember how many pages long. And then I didn't see that the attorney had looked
Well, you would have to read it in order to know what's in it.
Right, it was, but, Rob has looked at it and approved it?
Yes, he's actually been with the attorneys from the other group.
Well, that's not quite accurate. I've approved this grant. The second one on there with the grant administration for mitigation services, a block grant, that one I had some issues about, but this one is mostly for roads and stuff. I think it's a good deal.
Any other comments?
This first grant that's in addition to the one we just turned in from TxDOT that it was gonna, TxDOT, I just turned in some stuff to y'all to put into a grant from TxDOT for roads that
This,
were
this is
impacted.
a separate issue, Commissioner.
Okay,
What this is you're hiring a firm to manage the grant. Instead of you guys doing the legwork, you're hiring this firm to do that.
but this is for that road and bridge work on this first one.
That's through the TxDOT. Yeah,
Yes.
the money's coming from the Fed and through TxDOT. Correct.
Okay. So
Need a motion to approve, please.
So moved, Morales.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Edwards is an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The second one is approval of grant administrative services for mitigation services under the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development Block Grant Program. Counselor, did you make contact with the other attorney involved in this?
Well, you were going to have them contact me because I don't know who the other attorney is. So the answer to your question is no, I have been contacted by the attorney representing Langford.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that y'all didn't make contact.
That's, well, you were going
You
to
had
get a,
recommended checks in the blank. And then you have several notes that we need to change the mailing address, which we do get we use the county courthouse as our mailing address. County on the hook for any project cost overruns. Talks about site inspections of houses flooded. That's not going to be applicable because we did not have any houses flood. And attachment C is more site inspections.
right.
Would you like to comment on that?
My comment is that the county's on the hook for any cost overruns, and I don't understand why the county is, because we are hiring Langford to manage this, and they're supposed to be watching everything. And if there's cost overruns because of their sloppiness, I don't know why the county's on the hook for it. I think that why we're hiring a professional to manage this grant, that means if they screw up, they pay for it, not us.
Okay. Well, because we're living in unsettled times right now, there's a cutoff date for this thing that's rapidly approaching. I would hate to lose this $700,000. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do. I was certainly under the impression that y'all spoke, but I understand that did not happen. Can we pass this contingent upon getting these changes made? And perhaps you can call that attorney today?
Well, I would be glad to call the other attorney, but you have not provided me the information. Do you have the name?
I have the name of Miss Langford, and she absolutely knows who her attorney is. If I need to call Miss Langford and get the number for you, I suppose I can do that.
Well, that's the way we left the last conversation we had on Friday, was that you were going to call Miss Langford and get that attorney to call me. That's the way it was left. I wasn't supposed to hunt it down, but I don't mind hunting.
Okay.
I thought you had done your end of the deal.
Okay, all right. Let me get this knife out of my back and we'll move on. Okay, I'll ask the question again. Can we pass this stuff contingent upon you getting these needed changes?
Well, the commissioners court can do whatever they want, of course. I am not recommending doing it until we get this language squared away. I don't feel it's right that the county be on the hook for any cost overruns that this company is in charge of. But if the commissioners want to go ahead and approve it, they can certainly do it. I'm not, I'm not the guy that makes those decisions. I'm just pointing out the legal issues I have with it.
Okay, so we're gonna run out of time before the next commissioners court meeting. That's my understanding. So
We can always call a special meeting on 72 hours notice.
okay, so you're choosing commissioners. I guess I need to know whether you want to pass this or not.
Judge, I've got a question about it too. Is this Langford, this isn't the same group that's handling that current grant that we're supposed to be getting?
Yes, it is.
This is the same group?
Yes, sir.
And this is for another grant, or is this to administer the grant that we're currently supposed to
This
get?
is for another separate grant. We put out a RFP, and they're the only ones that returned within the time frame.
And what will be the scope of work for this grant?
Okay, we supplied you all the paperwork so that you could read through it prior to the meeting.
I read through it.
So I'll go ahead and read it for you. It's 30 pages. If y'all just stop me when you get ready.
You don't have to do that. I mean, I've read through it, but I just didn't see anywhere in there, and it was like 94 pages of stuff, I think, but I just didn't see what the scope was. I mean, is this going to be more work on the auditorium, or is this going to be?
No, sir. This is approval of a grant administrations for mitigation services under the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development Block Grant. It has to do with buying out flooded homes, things of that nature. Maybe your bridge down off of 239 would fall into that category. I have not seen the specs, all the specs on it. I've read through this document. There's a lot of stuff that is not applicable, but what I will tell you is that they're trying to give us $720,000.
Well,
And there's a time limit associated with this.
How do you get a grant if you don't turn in projects? We've never been able to get grants without having projects turned in.
Because they are outlining what the projects are, Mr. Burns. Just like the paving for precinct 1 that had to be in a low income area that fit their criteria. The grant was geared towards low income. This one will be too. There will come a time when you will turn in the projects once we get an administrator so that we can get rolling with it, just like we did the last time.
Did you have any feedback on the letter? So this has to do buyout land, flood area. Did you get any feedback from any people in those areas that wanted to sell their land?
I did not get any feedback. I received no feedback at all. So we're in a situation here where we're running up against it. I suppose we're going to have to call an emergency meeting if y'all don't want to pass it contingent upon the county attorney getting the changes made that he wants. I don't know what the harm is of making a motion to pass that if all that occurs. If it doesn't occur, then the motion is not passed. Looking for some feedback.
I think we ought to go ahead and let the attorney work out the deal with them, and then we'll call a meeting and address it then. This is Edwards.
Okay, I need a second on that motion.
I'll second that. This is David.
All in favor?
Edwards is aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll take no action on it. We'll wait for the county attorney to talk to the other attorney. Hopefully we'll get it done before the time expires.
Do you know when that time is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what time that is?
I do not know exactly what the expiration date is. I've just got too much paper in front of me to try to look at that right now, but I can let you know as soon as I get off the phone. Ross?
All right.
All right. The next thing is Commissioner Edwards, discussion action to approve pay compensation for all employees working full and or part-time during the COVID crisis. Commissioner Edwards?
Well, Judge, I got more questions than I have answers to this, but I just wanted to while we're together, we could talk about this as far as how we're going to compensate, you know, like EMS when they're quarantined. That should be, you know, we need to make sure we know how we're going to.
That's workman's comp.
I called and talked to TAC. They said that for us to start a workman's comp deals for those people, and if they turn out positive, it becomes a workman's comp. If they're quarantined and turn out negative, we'll admin pay them.
Okay, well, I was just on that case. I mean, I look at it like we've got the money budgeted for their payroll anyway. So as long
They're
as
getting paid, yes, sir.
okay.
And if it turns into getting sick, they will be put on a workman's comp.
Okay. The other question I had with this is we've got some employees working full-time. We've got some working part-time. My own personal feeling is for the folks that are working full-time through this, you know, to be fair, we need to compensate them for that. Because, I mean, we've got half the county or however, I don't know if that's good.
I've also called TAC. They said that every elected official is in charge of their budget, and they pay them or they don't pay them. It's up to the elected official.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying, that's why I'm asking from all of you that, you know, let's just talk about it. But I'm still thinking that we have men out there. I've got men out, you know, on the roads every day patching holes and trying to keep the roads passable. And we've got other employees that, because of offices being closed and things, are not working all the time. I just want to know what y'all think about compensating the men and women that are working full time while the rest of the county.
As far as I know, they're all getting.
They are being compensated, Commissioner Edwards. We don't have money in the budget for extra pay. Everyone is being paid. You're working full time. Are you asking for extra pay? I mean, I'm trying to understand.
Well, I'm not asking. I'm just asking the question to all of you. And no sense getting mad at me, Judge. I'm
not mad, Commissioner. I'm just asking a question. Are you asking us to
call that?
Are you asking us to pay extra for people that are actually working 40 hours? I mean, there's nothing in the budget that would work there.
Well, there's nothing in this world that's planned what we've got in front of us right now either, but I think that we need to consider the employees that are out there. We've got the sheriff, we've got EMS, we need to think about what we're asking them to do full time, and we've got to consider their feelings while they're working, and they know other people employed with the county aren't working full time. And I'm not picking on people that are not working full time. I understand the situation. I'm just asking if we should think about trying to compensate them in some way for what they're doing for us. And I'm not trying to make trouble or blow your budget. I'm just saying we need to consider this. And I'm just, that's what I'm going to talk about is just, like I say, I come to you with questions, not answers on this. I'm just throwing it out there to see if there's something we need to talk about or to be thinking about.
After the hurricane, this is Bruns. After the hurricane, you know, the courthouse was closed for, I think, a whole week, 40 hours because of electricity problems. But our guys still were out working. They worked that whole week. I think we gave them comp time throughout the several months to bring them up to the of what everybody else had gotten, which was, you know, fair. You don't not want to pay somebody, mostly during stuff like this, but there again, there are some out there that are doing the 40 hours a week.
Anyone else?
Well, my guys are working 40 hours a week and I've got them training and, you know, that's what we're here for is the work. I mean, we can't bring them in and say to them because they're hiring on to do a job. That's my opinion. We're here to do what we're supposed to do. And if we can't work, then that's a different story. But if we're working, that's what we do every day, work. I mean, I don't see compensating anybody that's working 40 hours because that's their job. I mean, I don't know where we come in to want to compensate people for doing their job. I mean, that's what, if I'm not mistaken, that's what longevity's doing, ain't it?
Hmm.
Compensating them for doing their job.
Who?
Longevity. We're paying them longevity, unlimited.
Well, longevity is more like a Christmas bonus.
Well,
You pay them
again,
so much for.
if they ain't working, that's a different story. But they're working every day. Mine are every day.
Right, ours are too.
So, I mean, I'm compensating them because they're working every day and I'm paying them their salary every day.
Commissioner Morales?
I'm just going to add to it that we're part of that group of essential workers, so we have to be out there whether we like it or not, to be honest with you.
That's right.
Unless we're sick. And then we can't go to work, of course, but there's other reasons, you know, you got sick leave and all that to cover that if you have enough time. I know there's some senators and different congressmen and stuff working on different stuff of that nature, but I haven't heard anything from the Texas side on that. But there's other states that are passing some stuff related to that.
Are all the offices open 40 hours a week?
Our
Yes, sir.
office,
Yeah.
our office is open in the morning. And then in the afternoon, she forwards all the phone calls to her cell phone. And I respond from my cell phone. But we don't actually have people coming into our office. And
Right, okay. But I know the tax office is open. I've gotten license through the mail from them, so. And I'm sure the auditor's office, Lee's always taking our stuff. The treasurer's office, I heard there was a problem with sheriff trying to turn in some money and wasn't able to.
We've been told, we sent out an email telling they were limited deposits, and she's taking deposits this afternoon for anything prior that you have after lunch today. And what we do with that stuff is we spray that money down, let it sit for a while, trying to limit contact with it, and then we're going to do one a couple of days by the end of the month. So, yeah, we have stopped taking deposits every day, trying to limit exposure to, because if we lose one person out of my office, we're going to be severely hindered.
Well,
That's probably
good.
one of the
Good
That's
precautions.
probably one of the highest contacts that we have is through this money. So if it's twice a month, every 2 weeks they turn in the deposits, that's the way we're doing it.
And they have a place to store this cash?
I've got a safe file cabinet that gets locked up.
No, not you. I mean, these other offices.
I couldn't speak to that. I'm sure everybody's got a file cabinet that's lockable.
So what is your question, Commissioner Burns?
Well, we were talking about the money and the employees. My question was if the offices were all open there, and it sounds like they are. I know they're taking phone calls through different directions of, or different ways.
As far as I know, all county offices are responding to any outside request, keeping up, doing their business.
Good, okay.
It just seems to me that if people write checks to pay bills to us, 2 weeks is quite a long time to hold that check.
Okay. Well, as the treasurer tried to explain, we're trying to limit Christina's exposure to the money that's handled, all the paperwork, so they're spraying it down and letting it sit a couple of days. And these are extraordinary times, and we're taking what we think to be prudent steps to prevent infections. And I don't think that there's anyone out there that wouldn't have an understanding of that.
Okay. Well, most of your counties are still doing business. My wife works at a probation office in Victoria, and they collect money and cash every day. So, and they're in Victoria. So
what is are you saying we should just?
I just want to make sure that I guess we're following the rules, and if offices can't keep cash at their office, then they have to go somewhere with it, and that's the treasurer's office. I mean, are we following the rules?
Most of the stuff that we get through JP's offices is money orders or
Okay.
credit card payments.
Right, okay.
But we still get a lot of checks and stuff, I would imagine, from Michelle in the tax office.
Okay. Well,
She does, this is another thing that this happens. She has her own account that she sets up, and she sends us emails to let us know what we swipe that's ours, and then she divvies out to the state. She does not bring us any money.
Okay.
And right now, I don't think they're taking any payments on anything. I don't think you can buy tags over there or anything else.
I'm not taking cash at all. Michelle's not even taking any cash at this point.
Okay. Well, that's the only thing that I was, thought about when I heard that was, if a guy writes a check and we hold it 2 weeks plus the time we let it sit while we're trying to clean it. I just felt like, someone's going to get in trouble with the bank over thinking they've got money when they don't because it hadn't been processed. I understand why we're doing this. I'm just also thinking down to what we're gonna do to folks, that are waiting on these checks to clear.
Do they not balance their checkbooks and know that they don't have any money or the check hasn't cleared?
You don't know how many people call me at my store sometimes and ask me their check hadn't gone through like a couple of days later or whatever. And I tell them the same thing. Did you not balance your checkbook? And they don't.
That has started occurring since this virus outbreak, or was it prior to?
No, this has always been like that. Yeah.
Well, they
people
don't
balance their checkbook. Some people don't. Not me. I balance mine.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, I'm good.
Well, back to the original point of this discussion about the employees. As I said in the beginning, I just come to you with questions, no answers, nothing. I just wanted to to discuss it and among us. So that's all that was.
I don't think that we can add to people's paychecks because the money is not budgeted. That's the simple answer.
Yes, sir.
And I personally have a problem with paying people extra to do their job. I'm working, you're working. There's a number of people in the county that are working. Some people that have closed, high exposure offices, it's just not practical for them to be working. Whether or not one person is getting paid or not doesn't have anything to do with the other person who's getting his paycheck. So that's just my view on it. So would you like to say anything else, Commissioner, about it?
No, I just want to commend all the men that are working full time out here in this and putting, I tell my guys to come in, we try to stay separate. We're still out and we're not training. We're still on the roads fixing potholes and doing our daily routine. But I ask them when they're off to, to go home, stay home, try not to get out and pick up anything else that they could bring home to their families. And I just think we need to commend them for if you want to call it, that's what they're paid to do, but they're going above and beyond right now in this situation, I feel like.
Okay. Well, it's not that we don't appreciate them working. We always appreciate them working, whether it's a viral outbreak or not. But as far as further compensation, I don't think that can be on the table. So we'll just label this as no action, sir.
That's fine.
Is that correct? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said that's fine with me.
Okay. All right. The last thing, Commissioner Bruins wants to make the commissioner's courtroom into the county commissioner's office at the courthouse. Commissioner Bruins.
Yeah, this is David. Yes, I have a mailbox in there. I needed some a form that I could not find on the website that could have been set outside in the hallway. I don't want in nobody's office. I never did. But I've been told by your secretary I don't have any mail in my mailbox, but I do have mail in there because somebody else has told me I do.
So why don't you just call someone and have them hand it to you, sir? You can call me and I'll be happy to hand you your mail. This is not a personal vendetta against the commissioners. We are restricting the number of people that come in this courthouse.
But there are other people going in the courthouse.
David, we are restricting the amount of people that come into this courthouse. We're doing our dead level best.
Are you restricting the people coming in your office? I'm just asking.
No one is coming. No one has been in my office that does not work in this courthouse. That answer your question?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There again, I was told I had no mail, and I did. And I did call. I did exactly what you told me to do. I called, and I was told I had no mail, but I had mail. But I do have mail. So,
David?
Yes, sir.
Call me. I'm here all the time. I'll be happy to bring your mail to you. As soon as this is over, y'all can come and go as much as you want to. As far as making the commissioner's courtroom your office, there's so many reasons why that can't happen. There's so many reasons why that can't happen. So, look, we're in a tough spot right now. Everybody in the world is in a tough spot. We're doing our best to mitigate the issues that we have in Goliad County. Separation is the chief means of mitigation.
I don't want to go in your office. I don't want to go into anybody's office. I just want to go.
Well, that's not true, sir, because you had a piece of paper in your hand and you were en route to Lee's office when I stopped you that day. And then you wanted to hand me to bring one in for an agenda, this very agenda request that you're talking about right now. So that's not so. What I did was tell you to start using a scanner to stop making personal contact with people. As soon as it's over, y'all go and come as you want to. This is nothing but keeping the county functional.
And I did what you said. I called your office and I was told I had no mail. And I didn't. So that's not working either. So,
Okay, this will be the fourth time. Call my cell phone. I'll bring your mail to you.
well, therefore my motion is that we designate the commissioner's courtroom, the commissioner's office.
Okay,
And make
the
sure we
commissioners
follow-
do not have the authority to do that, sir.
And
Yes,
make sure we
yes,
follow
they
the
do.
open meeting
They
act.
absolutely do. The
Well,
commissioners have.
can I interject and ask a question?
Yeah.
If that is the commissioner's office, how are we to meet? Because that's to be an illegal quorum if we all show up at the same time.
No, that's not an illegal quorum. It's an illegal quorum is when you show up, a majority of you show up and you're discussing business. But if you're just picking up mail, that's not an illegal quorum. In other words, they could all be at the same Christmas party and that's not an illegal quorum.
But
Okay.
you're wanting to make that a county office. That makes it different than meeting to do something. That's, you're talking, going in as
I
a
added
county
to
office.
the
to do
motion as
county
long as
business.
we don't break the Open Meetings Act. That's what I added to.
Okay, the sheriff makes office assignments in this courthouse.
Yes, he does.
Okay,
That's right. But the commissioners can say they want a court, they want an office in there and the sheriff has to find them an office.
not during emergency situations, he doesn't.
If the commissioners want an office in the courthouse, he has to go figure that out.
Not during emergency situations, sir. We're complying with a state mandate from the governor that says no more than 10 people. We're already at that limit.
I know,
I
but
would beg to disagree with you.
10 people in close proximity, it's not 10 people in the
It
entire.
says in a building. It doesn't say in close proximity. That's not what it says.
HEB has more than 10 people in the HEB.
Yeah, everybody has more than 10 people in a building. You can go to Victoria County right now and count more than 10 people. You can go to Refugio County. You can go to DeWitt County. Every county has more than 10 people. So you're absolutely wrong on that.
Okay, well, what I'm not absolutely wrong about is this. I have closed this this courthouse down to more than 10 people, and I'm gonna adhere to that until such a time that this is lifted. That's what I do know for sure. And this is all very childish in my not so humble opinion, that we need to allow commissioners to come in and get their stuff when I've done everything I can do. The clerk's office is available. I'm available. Call me. I'll hand your mail out to you. Handle the rest of it through scanning. Now this is going to last, I don't know how much longer, hopefully not too much longer. But until then, we're going to try to keep the public safe. And if you want to challenge me on it, you should do that.
I did.
You should challenge me that I don't have the right to do this in an emergency. You should challenge that.
Well, they first have to pass a motion, otherwise it's moot.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Well,
Gentlemen, you have always come and went as you wanted to in this courthouse. There's no way that you can achieve 6 foot of separation sitting in our chairs that are 1 foot apart. We use that office for probates. We use the courtroom for probates. We use it for all sorts of things where there's a mitigation that takes place, an arbitration where they want to come down and see if they can work it out of the county district court. There are a number of things it's used for. And
Well, then
you're telling me
there's more than 10 people in there when we have people doing mitigation and showing up trying to work things out.
Rob, if I need a legal opinion, I'll be glad to call you on it. I've made my decision. We're not going to change these rules during this emergency. Y'all do what you need to do.
You made the motion?
Yes, I made the motion.
And this is Kenneth, I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Bruins, aye.
Mr. Morales?
White, no.
Mr. Morales?
No.
Okay, I'll break the tie vote. No. So, do we have any public announcements? With that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Second?
I'll second it.
I'm unable to hear. Did I get a second there?
This is Morales. I'll second it.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.